What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, we are going to, of course, cover the basic, just basic summary of the amended lawsuit filed by the Macrons against Candace Owens because she keeps lying and purporting some fact that the First Lady of France, Brigitte Macron, was born a man. And because she keeps saying that dumb lie over and over again with no scientific evidence to prove otherwise, they have amended their lawsuit complaint. Now, I said this would happen. You know why? Because it's standard. When you're already in litigation, the last thing you want to do is make it worse for yourself by getting all over social media and still vomiting the same nonsense and doubling down on the dumb lie. Candace Owens has no evidence to prove that Brigitte Macron was born a man, and yet she continues to purport that as a fact. So, because she's, losing her damn mind, or she's already lost it by now, they hit her with an amended complaint, rightfully so. And if you guys go back over my videos where I've covered this lawsuit and given updates on it, I consistently say that everything Candace says and does will be used against her in a court of law. And with her doubling down on it, it's going to be used against her in a court of law. So, and also she's insinuating that the lawsuit now is somehow some cover up because of Charlie Kirk's death, and she's trying to link any and everything to his death just so she can just, monopolize off of it at this point, because that's all she's doing. Candace is looking for a 7-figure check. She's going to be getting a 7-figure check from talking about Charlie Kirk's death for over 2 weeks straight. And now you want to implicate not just the Israeli prime minister and the entire country of Israel. Now you're trying to implicate the French president and his wife, who filed a lawsuit against you, Candace, before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Is it not heinous on its own that he was assassinated on national television? I mean, and to add on to this, by trying to blame everyone else on this, you're just making it worse. It's maddening to see how frivolous and reckless she's being with her platform and what she's, throwing out there to the general public. It's misleading, it's false, it's unsubstantiated, and it's high time that people start demanding that she provide evidence. So, she's choosing to let her over 5 million, supporters, not saying all of them, but the majority of them, dictate how she runs her platform, because, that tip hotline is getting hot. You've lost the narrative, Candace. You're allowing all of those conspiracy theorists to dictate what you say and do and how you think. Now, who's the puppet? Speaking of puppets, make sure you guys hit the like button because, we're all pretty much puppets to YouTube with this dumb algorithm. So please hit the like button and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. Leave comments in the comments section and let me know what you think. And for those who disagree, I'm sure you're going to disagree. I'm not doing my videos for you to agree with me. I'm doing my videos to put out the facts. And that's all I know how to do. So, having said that, subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. We're growing. Consider becoming a member. And at the end of the video, I will go over our partnership that we have with Dr. Squatch so that you guys can get some products. And the commission that I do receive here goes back to the channel to support the great content that we are pushing out here in the LLC. Let's get to it. Now you guys can see this is the court docket for her case. Let me scroll up so you guys can see all of the case information, even though I consistently pull this up all the time. But here's the case ID number, N as in number 25, C as in cat, -07-194. The filing date was originally back on July 23rd of 2025, before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. feel like I have to make that known now because she's trying to pin down this lawsuit on Charlie Kirk's death. It's absolutely absurd. Absurd. At some point, Erica Kirk is going to tell her to shut the hell up, and preferably it's done legally because it's out of control. All right, and as you all can see, the case parties here, the Macrons, their attorneys. Lead attorney seems to be Brian Farnan, and then of course you have Michael Farnan, and then you have the defendant Candace Owens and her individual and in her professional capacity as the LLC, Georgetown Inc., and her attorneys listed underneath Catherine Mowry. Judge Sheldon Rennie is the judge over the case. And then you have her other attorneys listed. We've gone over the original case docket activities. What I want to do is highlight the latest entry that was done to the case, and it is the amended complaint filed. You have Brian E. Farnan, the attorney for the petitioners, the Macrons themselves. This was done on September 26th at 12:33 p.m. Amended complaint filed, date docketed September 30th, 2025. Amended complaint with a certificate of service, red line of amended complaint accepted. So you guys can see here, case docket activity. This is when it was filed. This is when it was docketed, meaning it was, recognized by the clerk of the court. They have to stamp it and then docket, add it to the case docket itself so that the judge can review it. Sometimes that process can take 2 to 3 days, but it is docketed. The amended complaint has been filed. So I'm going to show the amended complaint here, but I'm not going to go over it because it is well over 200 pages long. And thankfully, Chat GPT is, an awesome program where we can just get the summary of it. But I do want to show you all, it's 250 pages total, and that includes the cover. But I do want to show you all that it is here. We have the full filing. This was, of course, a jury trial demanded. You guys can see the plaintiffs, the case number, and amended complaint here. And it is 250 pages. And just to remind everyone, they are suing Candace Owens because she stated that the First Lady of France is in fact a man. For her to say they're not suing me for that, she's lying through her teeth. I don't know how she's sleeping at night lying this bad. You are being sued because you said that Brigitte Macron is a man. She was born as a man. She will die as a man. All of those statements you've made, Candace, in various videos will be used against you in court. And you keep doubling down on it as if the judge is not going to rain on your head. You will not be giving special treatment or anything when you're doubling down on it. It would be an insult for you to expect the judge to show you any mercy or give you any special treatment with the way you're behaving and acting. It would be an insult to expect the judge to do that. And this is not the first time she's had Judge Rennie Sheldon over the case. It's not the first time at all. So I just, if you guys look up other cases she's had, Sheldon Rennie, I'm sorry, Judge Sheldon Rennie. If you guys look up other cases that Candace Owens has been a party to, one previous case where she was the petitioner was heard in a court in Delaware, and Judge Sheldon Rennie was the judge presiding over the matter. Candace lost because she failed to state a claim, and she tried to appeal it and still lost. So you guys can see here 250 pages. Okay, and I'm just scrolling because I'm not reading it all. I'm going to read the summary though. But if you guys want, I was able to find this on clearlock.com. So the filing is out there, available to the public. And I mean, you got to imagine the billable hours that went into amending this. And yes, they do have the right to file a lawsuit against you, Candace, because you keep making these false statements despite the fact that they have tried to correct the record. They want you to tell the truth and you refuse to do so. So you guys can see what the prayer for relief is. You guys, this is just legalese here. Okay. And let's not take legal ease to a whole new level where it shouldn't go. It's often to see prayer for relief. It's legalese. Calm down. I think people get ramped up when they see this, and it's like that's not what that means. It's, you know, but okay, whatever. So let's go over to Chat GPT where we can get a summary of this because like I said, there's no way I'm going over 250 pages. So here's a summary of the amended lawsuit filed by Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron versus Candace Owens based on recent public reporting. And you have the key parties and background. You have the plaintiffs, defendant. It also has her listed as a conservative commentator, podcaster. Also, her business entities are named in some filings. And that's one of the reasons why it's in Delaware court because of the Georgetown Inc. being registered in the state of Delaware, and where a lot of the, I guess, net profits and revenue that she earns and generates is under that Inc. Corporation, under Georgetown Inc. Original lawsuit was filed in July 2025 in Delaware Superior Court, included 22 counts for defamation and false light claims. Alleged defamatory statements include that Brigitte Macron was born a man, stole another person's identity, transitioned, claims of incest between Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron, claims that Emmanuel Macron was chosen as president by CIA or mind control programs, Ultra K, blah blah blah. So what the amended complaint adds or expands. The amended lawsuit filed in September 25 expands upon the original claims and the scale of alleged misconduct. Key additions changes include doubling down on defamatory claims because she has in a video. That you're not suing me because you were born a man because I say you were born a man, but she is. That's what this whole thing is about. And if you think you're going to go to court and play word salad, Candace Owens with the judge and that jury, you got another thing coming. I suggest you listen to your attorneys and shut your ass up. Because you're going to go in there. If you want to make it worse for yourself, go ahead. I mean, either way, it's of no consequence to me here in the Lady Luck Club. But if you truly care, you're going to listen to your attorneys. But let's see how far that goes. God. The Macrons assert that since the initial complaint, Owens has not retracted the claims but has intensified them, including via her podcast merchandise and donation solicitation tied to the false narratives because she's making money off of this dumbass lie. The complaint contends Owens has escalated the rhetoric, increased the reach of false statements, and further monetized them. She has new specific allegations, claims that Owens linked Brigitte Macron under the name Jean Michel to absurd conspiracies, including reference to the Stanford prison experiment as part of her false narrative, accusations that she repeated or expanded allegations, including involving incest, pedophilia, mind control conspiracies, forgery, and identity theft. Length and detail. The amended complaint is reported to run 250 pages. It does. It provides additional documentation and evidence, such as photos, birth and family records, etc., to counter Owens' allegations. Don't forget, they're also planning on presenting scientific evidence when they have their hearing. So, scientific evidence will be produced, and the Macrons need to keep this lawsuit. Do not let Candace Owens go to court and blame everything she said on the death of Charlie Kirk, because this lawsuit was filed before he was assassinated. One, and two, she is trying to pin his death on the Macrons filing this lawsuit as a whole nother conspiracy, because she does not know how to shut up. So it's all your fault, Candace. It is all your fault. Four, jurisdictional motion to dismiss issues raised by Owens. Owens has filed a 43-page motion to dismiss, which she lied and said she would not do on Tucker Carlson, but, you know, I've already addressed that. She argues that the Delaware court does not have proper jurisdiction over certain claims, that some statements were published elsewhere, and that the Macrons are engaging in what Owens' team calls libel tourism. They're not. They're going to the state where one of her businesses, her inks are registered, and it is not the first time Candace Owens has had a lawsuit complaint heard in the Delaware Superior Court. It is not. So, what does that say about the previous case where she was the petitioner and she filed a lawsuit in Delaware Superior Court? What does that say about that case? I just, so yeah. Owens also contests that France has a stricter statute of limitations, 3 months, for defamation, implying that suing in the U.S. might be an attempt to circumvent those limits. The things that were said, though, were all said in the United States of America. And if they're bringing the petition against you, they can't bring it against you based on where you reside or your LLCs are registered, where you're making the majority of the money you have made off of peddling these dumbass lies. Candace, the chicken have come home to roost. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Oh, man. Legal strategic issues and stakes. Since Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron are public figures, to succeed, they must prove actual malice, which I don't think will be hard at this point, that Owens either knew the statements were false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. And she acted with this reckless disregard for the truth. Now, to include the fact that she is trying to tie this lawsuit to the death of Charlie Kirk. So she gets worse with it. There is also the question of venue jurisdiction, whether Delaware is appropriate, especially since the alleged harm occurred globally or in multiple jurisdictions. They're referring to the fact that it was done over electronic, platforms with social media and her podcast and the reach that it has. That's why she needs to stop saying dumb things, because she has a wide reach. But you can't say that Delaware is not included in that, because if it's international or at least across, the state, across multiple states with what she's saying via electronic communications, then why is Delaware somehow not appropriate? They're almost contradicted themselves with that motion to dismiss. It was a horrible reach, and her attorney should be smarter than that, especially when their client is now saying that the death of Charlie Kirk is somehow linked to this lawsuit. So none of them have the backbone to tell her to shut up? Okay. The plaintiffs are seeking unspecified compensatory and punitive damages. You think? Duh. So this is the summary of it all. As a matter of fact, I'll go back and read exactly what they're seeking. According to the lawsuit here, their prayer for relief. Wherefore, plaintiffs respectfully request that the court enter judgment in plaintiff's favor and against defendants jointly and severally as follows: awarding the Macrons actual and presumed damages to be specifically determined at trial, or awarding the Macrons punitive and or exemplary damages, awarding the Macrons all costs, disbursements, fees, and interest as authorized by law, and such other and additional remedies as the court may deem just and proper, which could include Candace Owens having to take down every single video, including her 8-part series and whatever else she's done after that from social media. And having to take down the merchandise as well. A jury trial is demanded because it just can't go any other way. So and ClearLock is the website where this lawsuit is uploaded. Good for them. I just child. So Candace Owens is not going to learn her lesson. She won't even tell the truth about why she's being sued here. I mean, it's right here, Candace. You lied and said that she was a man. She was born a man, she'll die a man. You remember that? You realize your videos will be used against you as well. So, whatever you think you did or did not say in writing is definitely going to be played in one of your videos where you kept saying it over and over again. So, of course, this is the gist of it all. I mean, she keeps doubling down. She keeps making these allegations. I think it has gotten to the point of just becoming disgusting, considering the fact that she's now saying, you know, the Macrons somehow is suing, as a part of this conspiracy with Charlie Kirk's death. And this lawsuit is tied to that, which if you claim to be his friend, why are you putting his wife and children through this nonsense? They might not be old enough to know what's going on right now, but at some point, Candace, they're going to grow up, just like your 4 children. And they're going to end up watching countless videos of you saying all of this buffoonery for likes and views. I hope that money was worth it, because you're going to lose it when you lose this lawsuit. I think you're in trouble. That's my 2 cents on that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are always going to stay on top of this lawsuit because, I enjoy reading the lawsuits. And of course, I enjoy being able to share this information with you all, just so you all can understand how dangerous, Candace Owens is becoming with the things that she says with no consequence. But there's some retribution coming around the corner for her. And it's going to be through not just this lawsuit, but any others that come after this. I feel it in my bones that the Israeli prime minister is probably going to have to sue her as well. But until that happens, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club, and check the description of the video for the Dr. Squatch products that is tagged in the video, soap and deodorant and toiletries that you can purchase for those that you love, that you want to have smell fresh and clean. And you can also get soap in bundles, or you can get individual bars. I recommend the cashmere wood. It is fantastic. It smells good. And yes, you do feel clean after utilizing the soap. I recommend it. All right. So until the next one, thank you guys so much for tuning in, for your support. And let me know what you think in the comment section below and how you think this is going to go. I've heard a few attorneys pretty much say that Candace Owens is more than likely going to lose, especially at this point when she's doubling down. But we will keep an eye out on this. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.